Good afternoon and welcome to another episode of Between My Therapist and I. Today we're giving you guys the mental health tip of the week, and that is all about how to welcome the new year. So we're going to do 5 tips. I got my handy dandy helper here, and I'm going to break it down into goals, activities, and finally, the challenges. So, Allison, front desk, Lily, owner of the Traveling Therapist, we welcome you. Almost New Year. Let's go ahead and jump right in.
Okay.
All right. So the first goal is I like to think of doing like a full review of the year. You go back, you look at what goals you had, what expectations you had for the year, and then what actually happened at the end. Be very realistic about it. What was the thing that actually mattered to you? What was the thing that really you realized maybe didn't matter? That wasn't a big of a priority in the end, or it didn't work out, you were okay with that. So first, tip number 1 is review the year. How did it go? How many of your goals were met? How many of your goals succeeded? Which ones didn't? What worked? What didn't?
And if those goals were realistic too, like for instance,
Yes.
If a hurricane were to happen and it stopped you from being able to accomplish one of your goals, well, that's not your fault, and you got to cut yourself some slack a little bit. So we talk about being realistic in that sense of what actually happened throughout the year, as well as are your priorities the same as they were last year?
Yes. Okay, tip number 2.
What worked for you and what didn't work for you. So thinking about all that you accomplished, all of the changes that have happened, what are the things that you're proud of that you think you did really well, and what are some things that you tried that just didn't work with your personality or your lifestyle or the external variables that were working against you?
Yeah. I think that a lot of people will look at what other people do. Like, I go on social media and they have these influencers that say, my 4 a.m. routine, and they like show up full face of makeup and like their green juice and like all this perfect routine, and you might have thought, oh my gosh, that's what I have to do. Like that is, or like I follow one of these like super high achieving type A business guys that like show up on YouTube, and I'm going to follow their schedule. No, do what works for you. So maybe you tried that and it didn't work. Don't feel bad. Those are only like, a lot of that is Photoshop, a lot of that is not real. So, and then the rest is, it takes a whole lot of just being committed. So don't worry so much about what didn't work for somebody else or what worked for somebody else. Think about what worked for you. What was, like, for example, did making lists work? Are you more of a paper person than an electronics person? Did a small change in the way you handled the emails at work make a difference for you and make you more productive? Did joining a study group make you more productive at school or helped you finish your homework or your exams or things like that? Like, what was it that for you was consistently good and helpful?
Yeah. And when we think about what didn't work for you, that's not saying that you failed in any sense. That's just one of those layers of self-awareness of understanding, okay, well, we might have a similar goal and this worked for that person, but that doesn't mean it's going to work for me, and that's okay. So you got to have that forgiveness for yourself in there too.
Yes. Okay. 3.
So step 3, we wanted to talk about following a symbolic ritual that helps you to let go of things that no longer serve you. So you might not even be the same person you were at the beginning of the year last year.
Yes. Even in personality studies like the Myers-Briggs personality assessment, for example, they say every 3 to 5 years people change significantly. And so when you started the year, the person that you were then versus the person that you are now, I mean, think about all the things that we've gone through. Think about all the challenges. I mean, it's been a heck of a year. A lot of us were looking forward to 2024 to just move past all of the things that we've gone through in 2023. So when you think of 2023 and you think of all the things that you want to leave behind, that you don't want to carry over with you, whether it is you had an addiction, whether it is you had a traumatic event, say a divorce or loss of a loved one, or, you know, things like that. All over the world, people engage in ritualistic, symbolic gestures to let go of what's, you know, leave behind what's there and then move forward to the next year. So if you don't have one, if you culturally don't have one, if your religion doesn't call for one, if your spiritual beliefs don't call for one, then Google it. There's tons of them all over the world, and do one that feels right for you. And it's not about like, oh, well, I'm not spiritual, I'm a very religious person. Trust and believe. Religious people have tons of ways to bless their house, to bless their bed, to bless their house, to let go of the old, and like all kinds of different things. So look into, like, talk to your pastor or your rabbi or whatever. But I think it's a good way to kind of just like let it go, get ready to move on to the next year and the next phase of your life.
Cultivate that new mindset too. So you were talking about choosing what works for you. It can be small, like just writing something down and ripping it up or burning a piece of paper, or like you talked about religion, maybe it's just saying a prayer to let go of certain things. So it doesn't have to be this big grand gesture.
True.
So we also discussed along that same line of letting things go, of cleaning up your house.
Yes, that is actually ritualistic in itself, and it's fabulous. Taking things like old clothes that you don't wear anymore, old shoes. There's a large group of religious and spiritual practitioners, whether it's Hinduism, Buddhism, etc., that believe that we leave a mark on our clothes. Our energy follows us in our clothes and our shoes and the things that we touch every day. And so if you have things from the year or multiple years in the past that you no longer wear, that you no longer use, get rid of it. Get rid of that energy, let it go, and just keep the things that you feel serve you the best and that you enjoy and that make you feel good. So that's a good, it's ritualistic in itself, but it's also very good for just like clearing out that energy for the new year. So clean your house real good, do a deep clean, get rid of old stuff, maybe reorganize, make your life a little bit more productive and a little bit more just effective, I guess.
Yeah, to have like that efficient lifestyle when you wake up in the morning of you're just set and ready to go with your day. The things that will serve you and the things that are your priority are right there.
Yes. Okay.
So our final tip number 5, is to do just small changes to help improve your mindset and push you towards that purpose-driven goal for the year.
Yes. I believe we're going to be attaching to this video our Atomic Habits video, which is a book that we strongly recommend for making changes and creating new habits, as it is named, because of the fact that it's so just well written and it makes it so easy to create changes. And as I mentioned that book, one of the things that it teaches you is prepare your environment to fit the new habits that you want. So as you're decluttering and clearing out your house, get yourself ready to welcome new habits and new practices into your life by replacing maybe some of the things that in the past may have tempted you to fall into a bad habit, and replace it with something positive. So, for example, maybe move the cell phone charger to the other side of the room and instead put a book that you want to read next to your bed.
That's twofold too, because then when your alarm goes off in the morning, now you have to get out of bed to go turn off your alarm because your phone's charging on the other side.
Right, exactly. If you typically have a bunch of different types of snack foods in your living room area or in your kitchen, living room, etc., maybe replace a couple of them with healthier options. If you typically have drinks in your fridge that are mostly sodas and mostly alcohol, stuff like that, make a little room for bottles of water. It's small, but it can make a big difference.
Yeah, notice these are all small improvements too. These aren't like those big, great goals that we're setting for the new year. And I think we're going to link to a video that you made prior about setting goals for yourself for the new year. You want to be realistic and actually set those priorities for things that are attainable for you.
Yes. These are just a quick 5 tips. Most of the time, people who give advice for the new year, like myself, focus a lot on the big picture. Like, plan it all out, make the goals. You're going to lose 20 pounds. You're going to go out and get a degree on something. You're going to do this. You're going to change jobs. You're going to move. These tips are more about the preparation that opens up the opportunity for you to feel good enough to set bigger goals for yourself. It's looking at what can I immediately do that will psychologically set me on the right track for feeling good enough to build on it and create bigger goals. Okay, so super short, sweet, to the point. 5 tips for you to welcome the new year. We hope it helps, and we will see you next time on the mental health tips of the week.
Happy New Year!
Happy New Year!